Swanglin. Episode 39 of the Swanglin Show. It's going down. Joshua P. Dunn. Today the P is for Powerbomb because it's fucking WrestleMania weekend and it's going down and we're all feeling it. I'm joined by the Swanglin heavyweight champion, MrGrippz, on Swanglemania number 39. My man Young Prof. Stan Edwards Jr. representing RapperGeek live right now from Dallas, Texas on WrestleMania weekend. It's all the way going down. What's up, my friends?
What up? What up?
Now, my man Vice is in the fucking house. You know what I'm saying? He's working on a new album. It's coming soon. So we're going to chop it up today on the Swanglin Show, episode 39, about some hip-hop shit. You know what I'm saying? As a fan and as a connoisseur of hip-hop, we're going to talk about the state of the business. We're going to talk about the direction of music and hip-hop in general. And we're going to talk about some pro wrestling shit because it's WrestleMania fucking weekend. So my man, MrGrippz, you got a new album coming out soon. So we need to know, what do you think of the current landscape of hip-hop music, man?
I mean, I think it's great. I think creatively, it's more open than it's ever been. You know, you don't have that locked-in regional sound. You know, just because I'm from Miami doesn't mean I should have beats that sound like Trick Daddy's about to come on the track and rap. You know what I'm saying? So right now it's pretty wide open in a soundscape format as far as what rappers sound like from what different areas. You can pretty much make any music you like, and it's as long as it's dope, people are gonna accept it.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome point that you pointed out. Like, just because you're from Miami, it don't got to sound like Trick Daddy's gonna come on, right? And I respect that approach. But me personally, I love the regional vibes of different areas of the country when it comes to hip hop. I like to be able to identify certain things and know certain, you know what I mean, just from sonically hearing the production, or you know, you can hear somebody's accent slide through on the
Oh yeah,
record.
I,
Me
yeah.
and
As
I
a
Stan.
agree.
as a
I
fan, for
love,
sure.
I love that original shit.
Now, Stan, my question for you, since you're a fan of that regional shit, as we all are, I don't think Vice's comment there was to discredit the regionalness of it. I think it was more of an open
Oh no, no,
statement
no.
of how you can create. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
what if you had to pick like a subsection of regionally in the United States of hip hop music that you liked the most? Which region is gets the most play in your CD player or your iPod or
Uh,
however you're getting it?
I would honestly have to say regionally, I would have to say to me it's fitting because where I'm at right now, but Texas,
Yeah.
the whole Texas sound, you know, the slow flows, the screwed up music, you know what I'm saying, like that whole, um, you know, like even when it wasn't like just completely slowed down shit, you know what I'm saying, like whole the whole Texas feel, you know, the way that they made, the way that they composed all of their music, you know, the delivery, the flow of a lot of Texas artists, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a huge fan of that, you know, like from your Big Tucks, from your uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Tum Tums, you know what I'm saying? Like that
Hmm.
that whole Texas sound, I've always been a real big fan of.
I think that's
Facts. Me too.
a good thing too to bring up Dallas, Texas specifically because right now they have a large artist in the rap game, Yella Beezy, who does more of a pop influence kind of rap records with radio records and stuff like that. And his sound isn't necessarily regional, but he's a huge star. You know what I mean? So it's awesome to see that people don't really have to be bound by the regional aspect of the music anymore. But for me, Stan, I'm fucking with you on that. I'm jamming hella Texas music, man. I'm jamming
Hell yeah.
hella. I love Scarface and I love Devin the Dude and I love Paul Wall. We had an opportunity to do an event with Paul Wall in Columbus, Ohio several years ago. It was a great experience. I love a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
Memphis. Love a lot of Memphis music as well, and I get a large draw of influence from that from our Arkansas homies. Shout out Marinated Mitch,
Word.
MrGrippz, the whole Steel Rider posse team, and that southern portion of that conspiracy family representing.
Shit, I gotta shout out Texas too. I'm a big fan of Texas music. You know what I'm saying? Zero, Trade of Truth,
Yeah, Zero is
K
the man.
Reno,
Yeah,
K
for
Reno,
sure.
the whole South Park coalition. You know what I'm saying? My dudes, Mike Trey and the culprit out there on the
Yes,
underground.
sir.
Shout
Yes,
out
sir.
Conspiracy Family, Extendo. You know what I mean?
Definitely shout out to the culprit, former Swanglin Show alumni.
Now, I'll clarify what I was saying. I was saying artistically from a creative standpoint. As a fan, of course, I like the regional sound. You know, I like what every coast and every region brought to the game as far as what their production style was and what their sound is. And it's cool for artists to implement that in their shit, but they're not stuck to it. They're not bound by it. You know what I'm saying? Like you see all the drill and trap shit coming out of New York and New England area. Back when I was coming up, New York rappers wasn't fucking with shit. Like, I'm not even gonna shout them out like that, but I opened up for a legend, platinum producer, gold-selling hip-hop artist one time.
Right.
And I killed it. The crowd was fucking with me heavy because it was down here in Fort Lauderdale. So, you know, I was doing my shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like some mixtape shit. And that's what I was promoting at the time. I was flipping some mixtapes or whatever when I went solo. And, you know, before he did his set, he got on the DJ mic. It was like, yeah, you ain't going to hear no down south hi-hats on my shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know? I know that's a little punch towards me. And I was laughing while I was sitting back and drinking and shit with my girl, you know, like he must have felt intimidated by how the crowd reacted because I killed my set, you know. So he's like, you ain't gonna hear none of that down south shit on my shit. The old school New York head, you know. And respect to him, all that, you know. Dude's a legend. He put in work in the game, you know, produced for some of the biggest names in hip hop. But I just thought that was funny style. To get on there and shit on, you know what I mean, to try and shit on me because I just killed that shit. So, you know, with the younger generation, like shouts out to my boy Denny Blanco up there in Queens. Like, you know, he be doing that drill shit. That's originated from Chicago, but anyone can pick that up and run with it.
Yeah, that's facts, big time facts. And you had mentioned, you know, dude, being butthurt or whatever. You know, sometimes people like me, I appreciate that little heel turn. When you pop up in a different city and you're like, you want to know what? Fuck this city. You know what I'm saying? And we
You
just
little son of a
witnessed
bitch.
we just witnessed something like that in the pro wrestling world with Kevin Owens shitting on the state of Texas to bait Stone Cold Steve Austin into making his motherfucking triumphant return, which our man Stan Edwards Jr. witnessed motherfucking live. How was that shit?
That shit was crazy. Like the whole, you know, I mean, obviously that's what everybody was waiting for, and like you should have seen how many Stone Cold shirts there was, you know, in the crowd. And even at the WrestleMania Access, like they probably like, you know, because you know they highlight, you know, certain particular, you know, performers or whatever. But Stone Cold, he got his own section. You know what I'm saying? But no, that shit was crazy. And I just uploaded my reaction video to YouTube too.
Nice.
Just seeing that, you know, seeing the energy of that crowd, or like not even seeing it, but feeling that energy of that crowd when that glass shattered. It's like there's nothing like it. Like it makes you wonder, like, because I was a kid during the Attitude Era, and you know what I'm saying, like, I've seen Stone Cold live, but not in that atmosphere, not in that capacity the way it was last night. But seeing that, like, was dope, especially being in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
with it being somewhere, you know, with his being in his home state, you know, and it's WrestleMania, so it's people from all over the world. You know what I mean? So it's not just Texans, but
yeah, for sure.
But you know, the whole Kevin Owens, you know, running down Texas angle. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was weird, but you know, hey, they made it work, and it definitely paid off. It definitely paid off with, you know, a huge moment that everybody loved.
Absolutely, and deep down, man, watching it on TV, I'm fortunate enough to where I've been to an event to witness the glass shattering before, and the crowd
Mm.
pop, dude, the surge that you just feel of energy when that happens, dude, is a remarkable fucking thing, dude. So we're gonna, we could do a whole entire podcast on the fucking legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin and probably have a great time doing it because the dude is a
Oh yeah,
fucking legendary
legend.
just legendary. The dude is amazing. So, what I think is awesome is that there's always been like a strong correlation in hip hop culture to pro wrestling, to where you hear it on a lot of songs. People always drop metaphors and punchlines about pro wrestlers or finishing moves and shit like that, right? So it's funny that like on the Swanglin Show we kind of have the pro wrestling style structure where we have our own heavyweight champion, and that current seat is filled by MrGrippz representing down South Florida, holding it down. So MrGrippz, we got to know, since we haven't seen you defend this fucking title yet, what is your finishing move? What is the finisher for MrGrippz?
Oh, the finisher is the grapple hold all day, submission, locked in. You know what I'm saying? That Cobra clutch. It's a wrap. You know what I
Oh
mean?
shit. Okay, so when we see that, we see you bust in with that variation fucking submission hold,
Just
it's over
just
with.
snap someone in half. You know what I'm saying? With it's like done.
Oh man,
That's what it is.
you're like Zangief of the Swanglin world.
Oh yeah, you just slam them down, 360, boom, done.
The
I just need to get the mohawk going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yesterday was crazy world for sports, just in general. With the Final Four games were going on.
Oh
You
yeah, that
know,
was nuts.
Duke gets dropped by North Carolina. Kansas
Yep.
beats Villanova, so the stage is set for the fucking NCAA basketball championship, and they're garnering
Hey,
a
funny.
ton of interest.
I got a funny story about that. During the Charlotte and Ronda match, there's people in the crowd watching that game on their phones instead of watching the match.
At WrestleMania, when they paid hella
Oh
money
yeah,
for them tickets. And
shit.
I think it's awesome though to see college basketball garnering that kind of interest because, you know, since the rules have changed a little bit on the things that student athletes can do, as far as the way they live their lives, you know what I mean? To see it still
Yeah.
be able to become a thing before the professional level is really cool in my opinion.
Shit. And then you had Coach K's potential last game, um, him coaching his last game, losing to UNC, the upset. I think UNC was
Yeah.
the 8th seed and Duke was the 2 seed. So, and you would think Coach K's last. My bad. I think I'm muting myself. You would think the last, game before he retires, they definitely play their hearts out, try to go hard for their coach. So it was a hell of a game. I watched it, after my Heat game, of course. I watched the second half of the UNC Duke game.
Oh yeah, when we're mentioning some regional shit pop off, we definitely got to stop for a moment and give a shout out to the region of just fucking Florida sports in general are red hot right now. Our beloved Miami Dolphins are the talk of the league right now. The Heat are on their way into the playoffs. Florida Panthers hockey is fucking huge right now, larger than it's ever been. You know what I mean? So Florida's really got it popping on that sports shit right now, Vice.
Yeah, we just got to have the Marlins get their shit together because they always just seem to be dog shit. Like Derek Jeter stepped down. He treated the Marlins like a breeding ground for the Yankees, sending all of our good players up there for peanuts. So we need to get someone who's actually invested in building a winning franchise for the. They used to be the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins now, but they got a beautiful new stadium.
Yeah, for sure.
They got to find a way to put people in the seats and sell tickets and get people interested. Baseball in general is having a real hard time keeping that interest, though. So it's
Definitely.
like the current state of baseball is not great. It's far falling behind.
Well, I want to give a shout out to former Marlins player, and I think One of the most underrated players in baseball history, Moises Alou, man. Shout out to Moises Alou. I loved watching him play baseball. So we're talking about a lot of different various things here on the Swanglin Show, episode 39. We were chopping it up about Stan's experience at night one of Wrestlemania, which is fucking amazing, live in Dallas, Texas. Loved watching it on my TV screen here in Northwest Ohio, so I can imagine Prophet's out there having the time of his life. Probably feels like a kid in a fucking candy store right now. How you feeling?
Feel great. I mean, right now I'm feeling not necessarily stressed, but focused because of this Dallas, Texas traffic that is not soft whatsoever. So I'm trying to fit in. I know Grips know all about that, and then Miami traffic is kind of crazy. But no, like it's especially going to Access yesterday. Like that shit really just blew my mind. That's how just the experience of it, just walking in and seeing the set for the first time. Like, because I purposefully didn't watch the set video that they posted on YouTube, so I could be surprised when I actually got there. And that definitely enhanced the experience. But yeah, I wanted to mention earlier, actually, like you mentioned, how there's a lot of like pro wrestling references and a lot of hip hop music. I want to give a shout out to and I'm sick, I can't remember his name. But there was a guy that's when I was first doing the whole RapperGeek thing and was putting together the blog and all of that. This guy, he sent me a message, and I feel so disrespected by not. He actually sent an email, was like, hey, I got this new song. Like, there's a lot of wrestling references and nerdy references in it that I think you would like. Check it out. So I'm like, got my. Of course, listen to the song, and the song's dope. He was a lot of Bret Hart references and whatnot, and just stuff like that. Like when you can combine two different worlds, hip hop, wrestling, or hip hop and nerd culture and whatnot. Like it can turn into something special.
Absolutely.
Was it a single rapper or was it a rap group?
It was a single rapper. I want to say his name was like I don't even want to butcher his name. Matter of fact, I gotta look it up.
Well, the reason I asked is because when you start talking about it, it brought a memory back to me. I got hit up by a newly formed rap group that had a little buzz behind them. People were talking about them, whatever, on the underground tip, and they were doing a song, wrestling style song where they said, okay, you need to use all wrestling references and punchlines and whatever. So I said, okay, this is someone that I met in person too, and chill with once or twice. We wasn't like friends or even acquaintances. We knew mutual people, so we was around each other or whatever. So he hit me with the track. He wanted me on it. I said, okay. Normally I charge for my features, but this is someone I met that had a rapport with. We got mutual friends. So off the strength, I was like, all right, I'll bless you with the verse. So I bodied it. Killed my verse, sent it in, all Attitude Era references, all shit that I grew up with wrestling, watching. Punchlines was crazy. Song comes out, my verse ain't on it.
Oh, you little son of a bitches out there stealing the Vice Grip vocals.
Well, and I'm like, yo, where the fuck's my verse at? I hit Buddy like, yo, wasn't I on that song? Like, what happened? He's like, oh shit, we lost your verse. It just, I was like, oh, you couldn't hit me to send it back to you? Oh, no, time constraints, yada, yada. Now, I know what happened. You heard me body that verse and you want me to show you up on your own track, you little son of a bitch.
Oh, you hear that live.
They got self-conscious. But the guy's name is the guy's name is Cut Right.
Cut Right. Shout out to Cut Right.
The song is called Forward.
Shout out Cutright, but I ain't gonna shout out who I'm talking to. If they hear it, they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
gonna ask you too, like, what was the song and what was the artist, and then you told me you finished the story. I'm like, all right, never mind.
I shit you on the fly.
We don't need to share them little sons of bitches.
Yeah, we don't shout out the sons of bitches, dog. They stay little for a reason.
Now here's the
Sorry,
deal.
son of a bitch.
If you're listening to the Swanglin Show, episode 39, and you want to rock with somebody within the illustrious fucking conspiracy family, and you want to get them on your fucking record, or you want them to appear on something or whatever, and you decide later you don't want to use it, you better have paid for it first, you little son of a bitch, because we don't fucking waste time on episode 39 of the Swanglin Show. I gotta say, if you're listening in, you know, and you're the type of person that loves hip-hop like we do, and you love pro wrestling like we do, make sure you head over to the RapperGeek YouTube channel and check out some of his Wrestlemania coverage that he's going to have, because dude's up in the mix out there in Dallas, Texas, and it's fucking, it's an exciting thing for me, because during COVID, you know, the attendance got stripped from live events in general, you know, and to see the pro wrestling business specifically thrive through that and still be able to do the things that we love to see and watch and consume as fans is fucking awesome, because that type of shit could have ruined that business, could have ruined professional sports. It could have really fucked some shit up out here for people that are lovers of athletics and live events and entertainment from the sports section of the world, you know what I'm saying? So me, I've been wanting to go to another live event, and to see Stan out there at WrestleMania, dude, it gives me butterflies thinking like, oh shit, I gotta get out there and support one of these companies that gives me this dope product. So shout out to WWE, because they came super correct, dude, super correct on the production values of WrestleMania of Night 1 this year. It was
And that's another thing. If you enjoy something, support it. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoy an artist, share their shit, buy their shit. You know what I'm saying? If you like a sports team, support it. You know, go see it live, talk about it, you know, on the internet. It's cool to be fans of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan of a lot of things. Like,
for sure.
I'm a nerd over rap music, hip hop in general, the whole culture, and then basketball, NBA basketball for sure. You know, so like watching podcasts, subscribing to podcasts, following journalists, reading articles. You know what I'm saying? Going into all the behind the scenes things. You know, it's good entertainment for me. So
I'm glad you said that too, because like you said, like, you know, don't be afraid to enjoy things too. And I just want to say this real quick before I hop off, because I am like trying to battle this downtown Dallas traffic right now. But, you know, don't be afraid to enjoy things. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we hold ourselves back from having particular experiences because we don't think we should enjoy things. We don't think we should, you know, do certain things because of whatever circumstances. But, you know, allow yourself to just enjoy things, even if it's just sitting at home, not doing anything. Allow yourself to enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just enjoy things, you know. But like I said, fellas, I gotta hop off before I, you know, run into somebody and get my ass whooped here downtown Dallas. But I'm gonna holler at y'all later.
Hey, thank you very much, Stan, for taking the time during your trip out there to WrestleMania. Like I said earlier on episode 39 of the Swanglin Show, if you're listening in, man, make sure you head over to the RapperGeek YouTube channel and RapperGeek social media platforms to enjoy some of this dope-ass WrestleMania content that we're getting from the homie and the #1 contender for MrGrippz' Swanglin heavyweight champion. You know, it's
putting in that work.
Now, we're gonna, Vice, we're gonna jump back to the hip-hop topic, right? So we had mentioned pro wrestling references within hip hop, and right now there's some acts like West Side Gun and the whole Griselda camp. They always drop a lot of pro wrestling punchlines. Action Bronson drops a lot of wrestling punchlines. You know, even Migos dude had the fucking Ric Flair record, and he even had Ric Flair in his video and shit, right?
Yeah, Killer Mike had a song called Ric Flair too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that also like compare the scriptedness and like the added ego and bravado that goes into being a male pro wrestler to rappers kind of like inflating their ego like they're Mr. Tough Guy, when maybe just maybe they're not. How do you feel about, you know, people's outlook on that?
Well, you know, things, it's a popular word right now, things can be a work. You know, it's not beyond, especially big companies, to try and drum up drama or controversy to help a product get attention or whatever, you know. But you know, I think for the most part, people go into it because they love to make music, and when they think about what's going to sell, maybe that's where you get some of that illusionary smoke and mirrors type thing, you know what I mean, where it's people who aren't really what they are or whatever. But you know, in hip-hop, it's going to test you, in life in general, it's going to test you. If you put on that smoke and mirrors, you got the fake vibe, you know. Like what hip-hop is supposed to do, the authenticity of it is you be yourself, and then you put yourself into hip-hop style and culture, and it accentuates, it boosts you up, it makes you, you know,
Exactly.
have some style about yourself. You know, you learn how to walk hip-hop, talk hip-hop, breathe hip-hop, live hip-hop. You know, hip-hop becomes a part of who you are. It definitely did for me. You know, I was a blonde-haired Macaulay Culkin-looking kid as a jit, you know what I'm saying, little baby boy. But you know, even at that point, then I saw myself like I am now. You know, with a lot of tattoos, kind of swole. You know what I mean? Just it kind of just manifested itself. I saw it from when I was a kid.
I had to ask you that question though, because you know, I feel like that stereotype and that thought process to a lot of fans, you know, does exist. And if you're one of these little son of a bitches, man, you got to draw the line. You know, don't work yourself into a fucking shoot. You feel me? Because you got to know how to remain authentic while you're creating and be able to present it in that form. You know what I'm saying? And just because, you know, it may be a popular role to be that, you know, doesn't mean that you got to do that too. Make what you want, do what you want, like what you want. It's okay, like you had mentioned earlier, to have individual interests, man. I'm into all types of shit that people would probably think I'm a fucking nerd because of it. You know, I listen to like motivational fucking podcasts and shit to start my day, and I'm interested in Eastern philosophy. If I could speak on the fucking Swanglin Show, that would be nice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm into a lot of different things and read like fucking self-help books and all this shit that some people would say is fucking nerdy. You know what I mean? It's okay to like whatever the fuck you like. So if you're listening to the Swanglin Show, you know, comment on the fuck video or something. Tell us what you like that might be nerdy or some shit that people think you're a geek. But you want to know what? You could be somebody that's fucking studies something super nerdy like rational equations, but you also could have the fucking illest roundhouse karate kick. You know what I'm saying? People don't know about them combos that you may have within your personal interests and your physical capabilities. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Now, it's episode 39 of the Swanglin Show. We were lucky enough to have the good homie Stan, RapperGeek Edwards Jr. call in live from Dallas, Texas traffic during Wrestlemania weekend. That's pretty fucking dope to remain. Right now, he is the number one contender, clear cut for the Swanglin Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, they gained a little bit of ground. You know, I had some personal things happen to get me out. You know,
Yeah,
but
for sure, man. And you want to know what? It's okay to sometimes when things happen, fall back, regroup yourself, come back. You still got the championship. You're still the fucking man out there.
Yeah, for now, they trailing. They coming up on the heels. You know, they want that big shiny belt, but in order to be the best, in order to beat the best, you gotta be the best.
Absolutely, man. And it's dope that we're keeping the train rolling on the Swanglin Show, because no matter what, we got to continue to put it down the way that we do on the fucking Squad Cast. Episode 39, dude. Can you believe that? Can you believe
39
that?
deep. We're getting up there.
Oh, yeah. So episode 40. When we get to the episode 40, I feel like I can already see the graphic image for the whole deal and everything, and it's gonna be something fucking special on episode 40 of the Swanglin Show. So if you're listening and you want to make sure that you keep your motherfucking ears peeled to what's coming from the Swanglin Heavyweight Champion as well. Like I said, the P is for Powerbomb today, because we're just dumping them on their fucking head on the Swanglin Show. Now, lately, I've been playing a bunch of music on the Swanglin Show. You know, like every week I've been, you know, highlighting and maybe chopping it up and maybe dropping a video from, you know, a member within the fucking squad. Or maybe just some shit that I like. You know what I'm saying? MrGrippz, do you feel like on the Swanglin Show, when that new album comes out, we should do something wild and just stream the whole album live on the fucking Swanglin Show?
Yeah, we could do that, you know, if that's something that people are interested in. Peep that joint, you know, we could do it live from the studio even, you know, get Jay Hicks involved and all that. It's coming together. It's about 80% there. You know, I just kind of locked in an artist to do the new logo and the album art. So, you know, he's a dope painter. Real nasty with the ink pen and the paint brushes. So we'll see. You know, I gotta study the project, see what kind of direction I want to go artistically with the imagery, and yeah, I got a couple more joints to record, maybe 1 or 2 more songs to write. Wait on 1 or 2 collab verses. You know, it's a little bit out. You know, and then we got to mix and master it. And to me, that's always the longest process, is to get
for sure. Oh yeah, because it makes you so nervous, you know, because you want everything to be crispy, and you got to be patient when you don't want to be patient, because you just want to be jamming those fire records. But this week on the Swanglin Show, I'm gonna unveil some shit to the listeners of the Swanglin Show. One of my favorite artists of all time, you know what I'm saying, is a member of the illustrious fucking conspiracy family in his own right. And a major part of the reason why I even started creating music in the fucking first place is that fool Rob Digital representing out there. You know what I'm saying? Cats ain't really hip to the hip hop game that can be brought to the table by our good homie Rob Digital. So we're gonna show you guys his record, These Demons, from the fucking homie Rob Digital, the motherfucker that's always putting it down out there, that can whip you up some quality motherfucking merchandise as well. So if you're listening to the Swanglin Show, this is These Demons from the big homie Robbie Digital.
Let's go. Behind these eyes, inside my soul, there's always evil sleeping. And when the silence turns to violence, you will finally meet these demons. These demons, 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 these demons. I've been trying to keep my cool and my composure, trying to stay up on my feet and be a soldier, but I feel like I got too much on my shoulders. I thought I had control, but then my demons took it over. Put a mask on, turn the lights off, strap your body to the table, take a slice off. Ain't no telling when I'm ready for revenge, till I'm headed to the ledge with somebody that I might toss. These are my thoughts when I'm hyped, y'all. Pine Sol, Lysol in a pine box, turn the table saw on and the mic off. Fuck a weekend, that's a line that I might cross. And all of these demons are part of the reason that I'm hardly sleeping these days. They constantly creeping, that's why I be chiefing. I need it, it's all I got keeping me sane. Behind these eyes, inside my soul, there's always evil sleeping. And when the silence turns to violence, you will finally meet these demons. These demons, 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 these demons. Whether I'm awake or I'm dreaming, all I see up in my face is demons. Trying to get me in the funk, put somebody in the trunk like I said I don't give a fuck. Season, and you don't wanna see me when I let it ride. You can try me if you wanna, but you better not, cause I can't promise I will stop if it gets bloody, cause I'm probably taking orders from the evil that I got inside. You probably got a vibe when you met me, like that I could be your friend if you let me. But eventually you see, if you tempt me, that I contain to be someone at least who will avenge me. I just need to have a cigarette and chill for a minute before I end up getting all up in my feels. Every day it's getting harder to conceal, to be calm and try to keep from getting everybody killed. Behind these eyes, inside my soul, there's always evil sleeping. And when the silence turns to violence, you will finally meet these demons. These demons, 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 these demons.
I got demons in me, and I know I got demons in me.
I've been putting up with way too much. Lately I've been on a roll, letting everybody know that I never really gave 2 fucks. Used to try to let it go, now I'm ready to explode. We can get it any day you want. But I warn you, the calm is gone and the storm is upon you. Like the children of corn, I was born to bring harm and to haunt you. I'm ready to get ready, yo life, cause I've been watching Freddy all night. Get some Henny and a friend and start fights. You about to see a side of me that none of y'all like. Should've listened when I told you, don't fuck with me unless you want the demons in my head to come around. That's when you know the battle's over, cause I won't stop till every single hater is a body in the ground. Behind these eyes, inside my soul, there's always evil sleeping. And when the silence turns to violence, you will finally meet these demons. These demons, these demons, demons, these 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 demons.
I got demons in me, and I know I got demons in me.
Man, that boy Robbie fucking Digital, man. Representing for the whole fucking squad, man. That boy Robbie Digital representing, man. If you are a listener of the Swanglin Show, if you're a listener of the Swanglin Show, you know about my musical history and involvement with that fucking boy Rob Digital, man. We got a whole catalog together under a group called Prophets Down Below. You need to check that shit out. So, glimpse into the fucking past, man, and to hear him dropping that heat like that, man, that boy gets you tingling, don't he?
Oh yeah, he gets it in.
That boy Rob Digital's freak nasty. But like I said, episode 39 of the fucking Swanglin Show. It's been a wonderful time chopping it up as always with the Swanglin heavyweight champion, MrGrippz, representing South Florida. Make sure that you're tuning in to the fucking...
One more message in case there's any of these young rappers out there listening, you know, because we was talking about the state of hip hop. No matter what it is, keep them bars dope, regardless. Yeah.
Oh yeah, make sure you're talking about something. When you're writing your records, make sure you're having and enjoying yourself and having a good time, and that's the main key element of making good music, in my opinion, is making yourself feel good while you're doing it. So take that away from episode 39 of the fucking Swanglin Show. We were joined today by that Swanglin heavyweight champion. We had that clear-cut #1 contender representing Toledo, Ohio, Stan Edwards Jr. in the motherfucking house live from WrestleMania weekend. What a blessing that was. We appreciate you much for that, Stan. So until next time on the motherfucking Swanglin Show, make sure that you're following on the social media platforms. Make sure that you maybe are showing a little interest, you little son of a bitch, if you know what I'm talking about. It's going down.